It's notable that 20% of the population is engaged in protests against this proposed Treaty of Waitangi bill. And such a large turnout, such as at the Hikoi, often during the working week, signals statistics of those who are unemployed or rely on the dole or benefits, along with a misguided but deep-rooted concerns of misunderstanding about this particular legislation. After reviewing the bill and listening to opposing views, I find the disconnect puzzling. It could stem from maybe the following: misinformation or miscommunication. Now, opposition can arise from widespread misunderstanding or misrepresentations of the bill's content and its implications. Social media and political campaigns can amplify fears, even if they are completely unfounded. And then, of course, we have the historical sensitivities. The Treaty of Waitangi has in the past 30 years again been tied to New Zealand's identity and history. Any changes or perceived alterations can evoke strong emotional responses, regardless of the bill's simplicity or its intent. It is very rich that the very same people who have done their political best to rewrite this document are accusing everyone else of trying to do the same. And there, of course, there is a distrust in government on either side. Many people distrust governmental processes, especially regarding treaty-related issues. Some may believe the bill undermines their rights or gives disproportionate power to other specific groups. And the diverse interpretation of the treaty, of course, was never a dual language document. The original was in English. Maori and the dreadful Treaty Tribunal have connived the idea of a dual language document using the old chestnut mistruth that allows to be interpreted differently. Interpretation perceived to favour one group over another is the reason for this particular bill that is now before the House. Most New Zealanders have seen through the mobilisation of this hikoi and any of these demonstrations against the bill, and it is the work of those disrespectful, over-tattooed, wearing extreme stone or bone ornaments with funny hat members of the Maori Party. They're the ones that are doing all the stirring. The bill explicitly states there's no changes to the treaty's standing, existing laws or benefits for Maori, yet the instigators of these protests are misleading their followers, as usual, and even those who join the open protest have obviously never read the bill that is currently being proposed. Maori concern comes from a complete misunderstanding or ignorance that might perceive the bill as an indirect step towards diminishing Maori rights or undermining the treaty, even if it doesn't explicitly do so. And Maori advocacy groups' reactions are real when those have amplified their fears that the gravy trains will slowly be taken out of service, and the bill does show a shift to realign the actions taken by Maori with the outlandish interpretation of a very simple treaty document. Maori activist groups or political Maori leaders have amplified their fears that the bill signals a shift in government priorities or an erosion of the Maori influence. But of course, Maori, with the Tea Party Maori, they live on misinformation. In the broader society, protests are normally fueled by misinformation or rumours, such as the notion that this bill might remove the treaty from the statutes or diminish existing Maori rights. That is not even in discussion or its intent. What New Zealanders want, this is what everyday New Zealanders want, is a clear understanding what the treaty actually stands for. Yes, what does it actually stand for? Its influence has to be deflated, it's overrated, and it's misinterpreted standing. We non-Maori Kiwis, we do have one huge problem. Luxon has proved he is a yellow-bellied along with other former leaders of the National Party, such as that dreadful Jenny Shipley, have made some of the most ludicrous statements of all. Shipley, for example, says this bill will bring civil war. Shares as balmy as Willie Jackson. And the only thing I have to say to that scaremongering Shipley, bring it on, Shipley. Let's not forget the treaty historical context. The Treaty of Waitangi was crafted during a time of tribal warfare to establish peace and protect the rights of Maori and settlers. It served as a document to ensure governance by the Crown with mutual respect and the safeguarding of rights for all New Zealanders. This bill honours that history while ensuring the treaty continues to be applied within its intended framework. And part of that is that the Maori, those chiefs that signed that treaty, they did cede sovereignty. The more one tries to apply the simplistic treaty meanings to our modern-day existence, the Treaty of Waitangi is certainly proving to be well out of date and no longer understood. When you think about it, it truly has passed its used by date.